Hello and welcome to Through Imperial Eyes. I am your host, Jackson Daleen.
And I'm your other host, Braydon Leadbetter.
Welcome to the show, guys. If you haven't had the chance, check out our last episode, which is our review of the Into the Dark novel by Claudia Gray, the second of the High Republic novels that have come out. It's a good time. It was a good listen and a good talk and chat that we had. What have we been up to just in Star Wars, just general conversation?
Well, this week I haven't done a lot. I did watch a little bit of Clone Wars. Because I'm slowly but surely checking my way through with what time I have.
Where are you now in it?
I'm still like at the beginning of season 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're almost done still. That's a good season.
I'm getting there. I hear that it picks up more towards the middle of season 5, and then it's just like hit the ground running from there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
What have you been up to?
Not a lot, actually. I am reading more of Point of View. I'm trying to finish it at this point.
Yeah, I need to get into the first one.
I want to read the Empire Strikes Back one, so I'm finishing up the... You know, it's kind of funny. The last, 4 chapters that I've read have all been the Mos Eisley Cantina scene.
Really?
It's because it starts out... it's Greedo, and it does Greedo all the way up into when he's killed, and then it does
spoilers.
Oh my god, yeah. Then it does the one of the Bith singers, one of the Cantina band players. It talks about how right before they were musicians for Jabba because their manager lost a card game and sold the band, so they spent the last year at Jabba's palace, and the day that they are playing in the cantina is their first time playing in the cantina, and apparently Greedo is after them as well. So it was kind of cool seeing how those all connected. Other than
Anything
that,
else?
I rewatched Rise of Skywalker.
How'd it go?
It's fine, I guess.
It's fine, you guess.
It's fun. It's all right. It was better this time watching it, mainly because I was ready for the things that came just in that movie overall. There was a moment I was watching it, and I guess I just kind of zoned out because all of a sudden, it was the dagger scene where she lines up the thing and on the Death Star, and then I was just kind of watching. Next thing I know, Leia was dead, and I was just wait a minute. I was like, there's a whole dream sequence and a fight that I was like, did I just not pay attention? Did I just kind of zone out and was just thinking about my own stuff? And the next thing I know, it was 20 minutes later in the movie, and I was just like,
that movie goes. It's quick.
It's quick.
There's a lot of movie.
So
yeah, I've every time I've watched it so far, I've liked it more than the last time I watched it.
It definitely when I finished it, I wasn't I remember the first time I saw it, I was really conflicted, and I was like, I don't think I liked it. And then I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And definitely watching it this turn, I always understood what I didn't like about it, but I was really able to kind of solidify what I did like more. I love Kylo Ren in it. He's kind of the best part of the whole thing.
Adam Driver is hands down the best actor in the sequels. Yeah,
absolutely. Completely agree. So yeah,
I think The Rise of Skywalker for me is it's Star Wars church. It's just everything I love about Star Wars in there, and people have legitimate gripes about it, and that's cool too. We just love Star Wars here. But we have a lot of news this week. Starting out, Lucasfilm, a source from Lucasfilm told The Hollywood Reporter that Cara Dune will not be recast in The Mandalorian. What do you think about that?
I will be honest. I kind of expected them to recast her just because it felt like it was kind of the obvious move. But I also completely understand them not recasting her. None of her storylines needed to be involved. So it's just kind of cool that she can just kind of dip out. That character's just kind of over with.
Yeah. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she was in the midst of negotiating a pay raise for a spinoff series. And then after all the Twitter stuff, they just kind of scrubbed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really specified whether it was actually Rangers of the New Republic or some other series or whatever. But I just think that not recasting and kind of just going their separate ways with the character as a whole is probably the best idea, just not to touch it. Because if they did recast, there'd be a lot of pushback from a lot of people who did like her character. Even if they didn't like Gina Carano, a lot of people just like her character. And I think if they did go the recast route, it would do more harm than good to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
What's next?
So, Star Wars Kids launched they're launching a new series called Full Circle. This is the quote from Lucasfilm of this. You seek Yoda in Star Wars Full Circle. Your host Jocelyn will guide you on a journey across the Star Wars galaxy, connecting the pint-sized Jedi Master to real-life genius Albert Einstein, learning all about Jar Jar Binks and the technological innovations of ILM, and circling all the way back to Boba Fett in the arena on Geonosis. So it sounds like it's just kind of a like Star Wars theme, like children's education book, like connect the fun real science with other stuff.
It sounds like so much fun.
I do think it's funny that they made Jar Jar have to teach about technological advancements and not government, because he did not do well in the government. So.
Maybe they're better off letting him do the technological, not the government.
Give the guy who inadvertently started the Empire to teach the children. That works out. No, I think it sounds super cute, super fun.
I think it sounds fun. That's something that I would be into if I was a kid.
Yeah, right.
I wonder if it'll be kind of like like the visual dictionaries where they kind of get into the fun aspect of Star Wars details.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be like separate books for each like subject. Because I'm assuming it's going to be there's a science subject. There will be a history subject. There'll be...
It's just cool that they're like connecting it to the real world. That's just fun.
Yeah. I can't wait for a kid to walk up to the Colosseum in Rome and look like, oh, Boba Fett fought there once.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, right.
Next up, earlier this week, I think it was either late last week, earlier this week, that Zigna dropped a trailer for a new Star Wars game for the Switch, which seemed kind of fun. It's called Star Wars Hunters. It's just a short clip. The trailer was a kind of a short clip in the kind of going through Jabba's palace and like panning around various holograms and stuff. But apparently the game is set after the fall of the Empire, and they also stated that the arenas would be inspired by different famous Star Wars locations, and you'd be able to play as bounty hunters and a bunch of Heroes of the Rebellion and Stormtroopers. What do you think we can expect from this game?
It sounds like a more refined version of is it Battle of Heroes? What's that app called? The Star Wars app.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Something. It sounds like that. Just kind of this like stock arena fighting game that I almost kind of picture it to be locked Mortal Kombat style rather than like a third person style game. It sounds cool. I also heard that it might come out for iOS and Android, but I don't know if that's confirmed. I only saw like one little thing about it. I think its focus is the Switch.
Yeah, I'm not a big mobile gamer. I do have a Switch.
I'm not a mobile gamer either.
Yeah, and on the trailer there was like some dark side force user with a red lightsaber. There was like an Imperial flame trooper that we saw, in Force Awakens and all the sequel stuff. He's Mandalorian and Wookiee, so it'll be just fun to see what kind of characters they can bring in and what they can do with the gameplay that makes it not just another stock fighting game. Like
sounds like Super Smash Star Wars Bros.
That would be cool.
Would be kind of cool though. Yeah. I would be down for that. Yeah.
I never got into Super Smash, but I think that would be fun. What's next?
So E.K. Johnson, who wrote the Padme Trilogy, announced that her final book of the Padme Trilogy is coming out, which is The Queen's Hope. This novel is due to come out November 2nd, 2021, and it is going to be essentially Padme's final days. It's I guess gonna be probably that last like week and a half of just like what she does, because she's in a lot of Clone Wars too, so we see a lot of that. But I know the other books take place in between each other of the prequel movies. So this is the Revenge of the Sith one coming out, which that'll be cool. I like Padme. I always like getting Padme content. I'm glad that Padme is still kind of a recurring, constant character that we can see in different shapes or forms.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the Padme books. I really want to, because I hear they make you appreciate Padme a lot more, and they really get into her character.
That's cool.
And I think it'll be cool to, because I am eventually going to get into them, because those first two, I think the first one takes place after Phantom Menace, and the second one takes place after Attack of the Clones. So I guess this one would be like during the last moments of her life when she's kind of
like right before.
She's going through Anakin's soul situation, and she's feeling all of those feelings she felt, because she has a sad end of her life.
Yeah, it
is
really
very
is
tragic.
I think about that a lot, about how just both poor Anakin and Padme, like they just both neither deserve that fate, you know?
Yeah, and she had so much hope for her future, and she was just going to have this perfect storybook ending.
So much faith in her husband, and was like, I'm going to have this perfect life, and
I think it'll be cool to see how E.K. Johnson deals with that, because I am going to actually end up picking this up once it comes out. But I think Padme is just an underrated prequel character that doesn't get enough love.
I disagree that she doesn't get enough love. I think
I totally think she doesn't get enough love, because when you think about the prequels, immediately what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first character that comes to your mind?
Oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but
exactly.
That's just because I have his. That's just because I have him tattooed on me. But
or people will go to like Anakin. People will go to Darth Maul. People will go to all of those characters. I just think I wish that people looked at Padme the same way they looked at characters like Rey and Luke and all those huge characters.
I think that they do, though. I think that people definitely appreciate Padme.
I think there are people that do. Yeah.
That's fair.
I just completely cut off your train of thought.
No, I'm just like, yeah, that's fair. Like, you're definitely right. Like, there are people who 100% agree with Padme.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. So they just announced last week the Secrets of the Sith book will be coming out. They announced they saw the cover, and they announced that it will be told from the perspective of Papa Palps, which will be. I wonder if they're going to
for Papa Palpatine.
Yeah, if it's just going to be like at the end, after like the index is going to be his like French toast recipe or something.
So I got thrown down a chasm. How do you think I got here?
What the hell's an aluminum falcon?
Well, let me teach you a history lesson.
Yeah, but I wonder how the author will address things like the inclusion of, Snoke and Kylo and Asajj Ventress and all those characters that aren't technically Sith Lords. Because without a doubt, they're definitely, part of the Sith plan as a whole, but they're not actually Sith. How do you think he's going to deal with that?
Well, I wonder if he'll probably talk about it as in like an apprentice section or something like that, where it's just kind of like these are people who trained in the way of the Sith but never went full throttle with it.
Yeah.
Like they were at like the base level before they got considered official Sith, but they're also still technically Sith. It'd
be great if we got a little bit of Darth Plagueis in there, because that's definitely ties into Palpatine's story.
I definitely think we will. He'll probably talk about Plagueis, and I would assume the other like in canon Sith, because isn't Darth Bane canon? And
Darth Bane's canon, and that's about the only Old Republic.
That's about it right now. Sith.
Yeah. I just think that it would be a great time, because they haven't really addressed Darth Plagueis since Revenge of the Sith for really anything. So I think it's a great time to actually like have Palpatine go more in depth on Darth Plagueis here.
I wonder if they will do any High Republic stuff, which means that if they did, like, High Republic stuff would have to come out in the novels first. Which what I more mean is, like, I wonder if in the next novel a Sith will be revealed, and then we can get more information on that Sith in this new Secrets of the Sith book.
Yeah, that could be cool.
You get what I mean? Like, you understand that?
Like, we'll get a release before this one.
Yeah,
from High
like
Republic,
we'll meet
introduces the
this
Sith,
character, and then we can get more little fun information on them in this Secrets of the Sith book.
That could be cool. I don't know if there's an exact release date for this out yet. I know it's available for pre-order, so I'm sure there is. So I don't know. That'll be. I'm definitely going to pick that up because I know the Jedi one. Is the Jedi one already out?
I think so, yeah, and it's told through the perspective of Luke,
right?
And it's, from what I've seen, it's kind of like it imitates Luke's like notebooks. It kind of talks about just like the history of everything, and I don't think it does like a character breakdown, but more kind of an era breakdown. Yeah, so that'd be cool. That'd be cool to kind of check out.
I wonder how they'll deal with. I wonder if it'll be Palpatine's secret diary.
Be cute. It'd be cute. Yeah. It's my thoughts while on the Death Star.
Yeah, his like little cute little side notes.
Yeah, right. Little post-it notes that he has. That's cute. So,
what's next?
All right. Well, moving on. Hot Toys. Which, have you ever had any Hot Toys? Have you ever?
No, I'm too poor for that.
I know, right? I want one so bad. Hot Toys revealed their new deluxe edition Boba Fett figure. This figure is going to be based off of Boba Fett from season 2 of The Mandalorian. Yep. And I don't know if it's two separate, or I would assume not. It's just essentially it's one what's the word? Figure. That's the word I wanted to use. One figure, and you can either do the cloaked Boba Fett with, the dark robes that he first shows up in. He's got the Gatterfy and
so basically
the cycle rifle.
They have a standard version and a deluxe version coming out. The standard version, I believe, is just him in the Boba Fett armor. And when you buy the deluxe version, it comes with two separate figures. So you're getting the Temeura Morrison, just like unarmored Boba Fett, the Tatooine kind of version of Boba Fett, and then you're also getting the armored version from Mandalorian. Armored version,
and
so you're getting two figures with the deluxe one.
It's detailed as all hell. I mean, it's Hot Toys, so like it makes sense. But like the rocket boots, that have little like smoke like coming out of them that look like they're actually in action. He's got a jetpack with no burn fueling coming out of it. He's got a jetpack with some fuel coming out of it. Like, it's cool. It'll be cool to kind of just see all the different little gadgets and whatnot. I want one of the re-armored Boba Fett, the new paint job. I think that'll be cool to have. So
I'm not really up to date with the whole collecting scene, so I don't really know how many different Hot Toys there are, but this one looks really cool.
There are a lot of Hot Toys.
I know I'm in for Star Wars.
I would also a lot. They've been around since even when I was probably like 15 or 16, and I've always wanted a cool one. They're so detailed. They're so well made. Them and Sideshow, they always do really cool stuff together. Yeah. So cool. What's next?
So Temeura Morrison talked about filming Book of Boba Fett on a New Zealand news program, and he basically said that they're filming right now and they're taking lots of COVID-19 restrictions and precautions. So he talks about working on set and they have to do face shields and the whole crew is wearing masks and they're doing rapid tests every 3 days and normal tests once a week. So they're really taking it seriously, which is really good because if not, we would probably have a lot of delays and we wouldn't get Book of Boba Fett this year. But he says that they have been shooting for a few weeks now and, he's in good spirits and he says he's prepping for a lot of action. So that is very good. It's what we'd like to hear.
He's so excited to come back. I'm glad that he is just absolutely pumped for everything. I cannot wait.
What do you think we can expect from this show? So, it's rumored to only be 4 episodes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, that is rumored.
Well, that kind of changes. I guess not. The ideas that I have is either it's going to be about Boba essentially establishing himself in the crime world, and I think the villains that they should do with it would be the remnants of Crimson Dawn.
Ooh, get some Kira in there.
Be about Boba just kind of taking over the crime world. Mm-hmm. I keep seeing it enough that I almost could expect Disney to do it, but I almost wonder if it'll be Boba finalizing his revenge arc in hunting down some Jedi, maybe a Jedi who survived a treacherous fall in the city of Coruscant. I am talking, of course, about Mace Windu. Personally, I don't think they should bring back Mace Windu. I think
neither.
Mace Windu should stay dead, but I also
Leave
would
it
not
alone.
be shocked if they brought back Mace Windu and that was kind of the little storyline. I also know Boba's whole thing in season 2 of Mando is that he is kind of done with the whole revenge thing. He's more about honoring his family bloodline, and that's why the little bars on the side of his helmet go from yellow to red, because it means in Mandoa it's honoring your family, and he's a good guy now. He doesn't want to work for the Empire anymore, so I could see something, if Mace Windu showed up, I guess that'd be cool, but it would just be more obvious fan service, especially since they've made these changes for Boba.
And I just don't think it would be very effective.
I just also think it would be
so much like a shoe-in.
I think it'd be so cool to see Boba Fett with a purple lightsaber, but I can just look up a drawing of that. I don't need that to be real canon,
Yeah, so. I don't know if that would work for me. But I wonder if, because I remember, I forgot how long ago it was, but I think it was James Mangold had a Boba Fett thing that he was working on.
He was supposed to make the movie. It was supposed to be
a film. And if this is going to be 4 episodes, I wonder if they're just gonna straight up make it seem like a 4-hour movie, and they're just kind of adapting with also taking into account the Mandalorian story events. If they're just adapting what was originally going to be the Boba Fett movie, because we had Josh Trank, who was originally going to do Boba Fett. We have the James Mangold was originally going to do Boba Fett. So I wonder if they're just pulling pieces from those past projects and putting them into this one.
That's not a bad idea. That'd be kind of cool. I would love to see. I love James Mangold. I would love to see him involved with Boba Fett. So yeah, that'd be cool. I'm excited nonetheless. I think it'll be just absolutely stellar. I cannot wait for how ruthless it's going to be. It's just going to be so cool.
Yeah. I really hope it's just like a space action movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll just be ruthless, just a quick one. Well, cool. Yeah. That's all we've got for news.
That's it. That's it's. I thought it was going to be a heavy news day, but we got to the news in 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. We got it quick. So let's go on to the couple of questions that
let's get deep with these questions.
Friends sent us. Do you want to read off the first one?
Yeah, this one comes from Instagram, from @NickDucodyArt, who asks, what happened to Yaddle? The age-old question, what happened to Yaddle? What do you think?
Actually, I know what happened to Yaddle. I don't know what exactly it's from, but apparently Yaddle dies while with Obi-Wan and Anakin on some mission that goes awry, and it's while Anakin's still a Padawan. It's like when he's a teenager, and apparently Yaddle sacrifices herself to save this planet, and obviously also save Anakin and Obi-Wan. So yeah, that's like the actual answer is.
Who told you
Yaddle.
that?
I found it somewhere. I saw it on Instagram, and I don't know what it's from, but that's what it talks about, that Yaddle died in a last ditch effort to save everyone. And
well, I don't believe you, because I have an actual answer to this.
You have an actual answer?
Yeah, I do. So I think that during Order 66, I think she took over Dexter's Diner.
Oh my God.
And became the head dishwasher at Dexter's Diner and made a career for herself there. That's just me. What do you think?
Her death in 26 BBY during a peacekeeping mission to Mawan.
No. That didn't happen.
Member of the same species as fellow counselor.
Order 66 happened. She had to hide away. She's so small she can get past all the tall stormtroopers. She went, and she is now working and owns Dexter's Diner. She let Dexter retire. His time's done. She owns Dexter's Diner and is the lead dishwasher at Dexter's Diner. What do you think?
So she used the Force to absorb a deadly chemical weapon unleashed by this dude by Granta Omega on this essentially lawless planet. So some dude tried to drop a chemical bomb on this planet, and Yaddle just absorbed it, just took it. Was just like,
what is this from? Is this from a novel, or is this from a show? What is this from?
This keeps telling me it's just saying, hold on, let me see. It's like telling me the story, but I'm like, oh yeah,
give me your sources, bro.
I think it's they held a funeral. I'm going to look it up. I'm just going to look it up.
Is this Legends? It might be Legends.
It is Legends.
So we don't know what happened to Yaddle and Kanan. So I think canonically, she took over Dexter's Diner, and she's now running it.
She's now secretly running it.
No, not secretly, very publicly.
Oh, publicly running it? She makes a mean patty melt.
We haven't even really been back to Coruscant, since before episode 4. So
yeah, but Yaddle's gone by the time Dexter Jester's around. Is she working with Dexter Jester? Is that?
Oh no,
she
let Dexter retire. He's now living.
So what happened in between when Dexter owned it, and then because she's gone from the council by the time Dexter's still running it. So what'd she do before that?
Oh no, I told you she becomes the lead dishwasher. She was just a dishwasher in the back.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Okay,
yeah.
I see now.
No, but in all seriousness, I literally don't know. That is a very good question. I literally don't know what could have happened to Yaddle. I think what actually behind the scenes, what happened is they just happened to not include her again in any of the other movies. They just had her in Phantom Menace. And was she in Attack of the Clones too?
I don't think so. I think she's just in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, so I think George Lucas was just people are going to confuse that for another Yoda, so I'm just not going to touch it anymore.
Yoda's species a secret. I'll get rid of that one real quick.
Yeah, so I honestly think that it's not that. I think that's literally what happened, and there will maybe 2 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, there's going to be Yaddle, a Star Wars story, the novel, or the comic book, and we'll get that answer.
This Yaddle's death was apparently a comic that happened with this mission.
We'll see if we'll ever get a canon answer. Who knows?
That was that was a wild time. That was a wild time finding that answer. Cool.
Yeah. What do we got next? Who asked a question next?
Is this the Chasey J asked us favorite arc or storyline from Clone Wars or Rebels?
Oh man. Seeing as I haven't finished all of Clone Wars. I do have some favorites, but I haven't finished it. So if you're Braydon, you're totally missing out on this awesome arc. Why didn't you say it? Because I haven't seen it yet. But the first one that came to mind was the Mortis arc in Clone Wars.
Ooh,
I think
go ahead.
Either that or I love the Cad Bane stuff too. The Holocron heist and the Children of the Force. Those 3 episodes were really great. And I just finished the end of season 4, the whole Obi-Wan undercover thing with all the bounty hunters.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. That was a cool arc.
Yeah, but I think overall, so far, my favorite one has been the Mortis stuff on Mortis and the what are they called?
The father, daughter, and the son.
Yeah, and I do have a Rebels one, but I want to hear your favorite Clone Wars arc first.
My Clone Wars one's kind of obvious. It is the season 5 Mandalorian arc, and I know you're not fully there yet, so I won't talk crazy much about it. But once you watch it, it's kind of that's one of the most memorable moments in Clone Wars, and that's just those 4 episodes. I just think are really. I usually watch those in a little spurt. Those in the final 4 as well. Let's talk about Rebels though.
I have so many.
I know, right?
It's hard to even. Where do I begin? I do like the Mandalore stuff in Rebels, like season 2 Mandalore. That's season 3. Season 3 Mandalore stuff.
Well, season 3 is all about Sabine and the Darksaber.
Yeah, when Sabine goes to Mandalore and
the first half of season 4 is them setting up for the big rebellion.
But we cannot talk about Rebels without talking about the Twilight of the Apprentice and the whole Ahsoka Vader arc at the end of season 2. Some of the best Star Wars moments of all time.
Best Star Wars. I'll never forget. That is not the Jedi way. And it's the 2 lightsabers. I'm no Jedi.
It gives you chills. Yeah, it's so good. And the whole moment whenever Vader's mask breaks and you see the Anakin eye, and then like that's Ahsoka's realization that holy crap, that's Anakin.
It is him.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
And then it also, sorry to cut you off, but one of the best Rebels moments is at the end there, whenever Ahsoka is going back in the temple into the smoke, and we're just like, what's gonna happen to Ahsoka? And for like a whole 2 years, we were like, wait, where's Ahsoka? Did Ahsoka die? And Dave Filoni comes out at Celebration with the Ahsoka Lives shirts and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, right. I actually really, really love all of the first time Kanan meets Bentu.
Ooh, yeah.
When they're on Dantooine, Kanan's whole like quote unquote arc of essentially refinding his faith in just kind of the Force and just understanding himself, and I loved all of that. I love anything Admiral Thrawn. The Siege of Lothal is some of my favorite in Rebels. That final just like whole section of season 4. I think the final season of Rebels is actually my favorite.
It's a perfect season of television. It is so good.
Love Rebels very much. So.
I don't know if Thrawn as a character really does it for me, to be honest.
I love anything Thrawn. I love Thrawn as just kind of that like calm, meticulous evil. He's all about, you got to understand your enemy in order to beat them. And I loved that because I loved how they had to try and beat Thrawn out of wits first before pulling something off, which makes Ezra's decision so much more harder and harsher with, sacrificing everything that he could just to save Lothal. And I love it. I love it. I cannot wait to see a live action Thrawn. I want to read the new Thrawn trilogy. It's starting to kind of pique my interest enough that I think I'm going to give it a go.
I hear that it's not all it's cracked up to be if you're expecting it to be like Heir to the Empire. That trilogy.
See, I also might just read the Heir to the Empire trilogy because I think that's how they're going to do live action Thrawn, is that essentially, all right, here's my theory. I think Thrawn is responsible for initiating the First Order, and that essentially he has been pulling the strings this whole time. That's why all of the new ships that we have been seeing are really well designed, especially from the Empire, because Thrawn designed ships. That was kind of his specialty, was he was able to do more things. And I think because he was trusted enough from Palpatine and Vader, they gave him that information to start the Second Empire once everyone was gone.
If they could find a way to do that well and make it believable and not just, just undermining the Rise of Skywalker entirely, I think that could be really cool. If they figure out a way to weave it in and make it cohesive and well done, I think that could be really cool.
And I think that they are already, because like Moff Gideon was like responsible for running the cloning and like getting Snoke prepared and all that. But
that we know of, that
is true.
That's think still kind of a theory because that's not confirmed.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's how they're going to try and connect it with it all, is essentially they'll make Thrawn kind of the big baddie for the series, at least for the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see him in the Ahsoka series. I think it will be the first moment you see him live action on screen will be so cool.
It's gonna be.
I hope that they need to make sure to keep him out of the trailers. Keep him.
Oh yeah. It needs to be like it's.
Do not let us see him until it comes out.
It's gonna be it should be a big secret.
Do not let us see him until it comes out. And also, just some other honorable mention stuff for Rebels. The World Between Worlds stuff is really bizarre.
That's always fun.
And I love it. It's just like it's so bonkers that it's awesome. But it's it's easy for people to be like I saw this really freaking dumb YouTube video that came out. It's like, and they're basically saying, oh yeah, Dave Filoni is going to redo the Star Wars sequels because they're going to retcon it to where that actually happened in an alternate universe in the World Between Worlds. And just shut up, please. If you made that video,
We're
just
too
shut up.
far in to just retcon everything. Like
just shut up. Watch Star Wars with some heart and you'll learn to appreciate the sequels. That's all I'm saying. But I really do like the World Between Worlds stuff. And this is a big spoiler. So if you have not seen Rebels, mute us or skip forward 2 minutes. But
start yelling really loud in your car as you're listening to us.
Yeah. Kanan's death is one of the most moving, powerful moments in Star Wars of all time. I have to say that right now.
It was 3 years ago, like last week, and there was a tweet I was scrolling just on Twitter, and I have like Star Wars just tagged, so anything comes up on my feed, and it literally it's the still of his eyes and her wide eyes, and it just says 3 years ago, and I saw and instantly started tearing up and was just like, that one still hits hard. That one still hurts me in my soul.
Yeah, man. The way that Freddie Prinze Jr. is able to give Kanan such depth is astounding. I love him so much.
What a good character. Yeah. What a good arc. What's our next question?
This next question comes from a friend of the show, Grandpappy Berta, my friend Steven. He asks, what other Star Wars series, besides Kenobi, obviously, has you most excited and why? So we both kind of know that both of our most anticipated shows that are coming out is Kenobi. So what do you think comes behind Kenobi for you?
For me, it is the Book of Boba Fett, but to give an actual like legitimate answer, I'm really excited for Visions. I am really excited to just see, I love just animation. I love just actually animated things. And I'm glad that Star Wars is actually kind of putting their foot in that area. I think there's going to be some really pretty stuff that's going to come out of that show.
And I think it'll be a good opportunity to get some different Star Wars stories than we've seen before in there.
And different ways of telling Star Wars stories. I always love finding new ways to tell a Star Wars story. So yeah. What about you?
I think it's definitely the Acolyte because I want to see some awesome Sith stuff. I want to dig into Sith lore. I want to see Sith do some Sithy stuff. And I want to see, this will be the first time we'll have seen anything live action happening before The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that is true. And that it will be cool to actually kind of experience that world.
Yeah. I'm just very excited as soon as that was announced, I was like, that's genius. Why didn't you guys announce this as a movie trilogy 3 years ago? But, and a close second behind that is this kind of segues into the last question we have, but it's the Rian Johnson trilogy.
Oh, just the trilogy in general. I just
love him as a filmmaker, and I just want to. I don't want to say I'm the most excited for it. I'm the most curious about it, about where we're gonna go.
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
fair. Well, then I'll ask this last question. I kind of want you to just kind of take off on it because I don't really have a lot of thoughts of what it is. So Cinema Shakedown, who is from my friends Jordan and Kyle, they run a movie podcast. Check them out. That's a self promotion. I did that on my own. They asked, what do you guys want to see from Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy? Braydon, what do you want to see? Because I'll take anything. I'm going to take anything he's going to give me. So whatever works.
I want something completely new, something we have not seen before. Like, give us new worlds, give us new characters, new ships, new weapons, a new story. Because I think that it is so easy to look at The Last Jedi, whether you like it or you hate it, and just write it off as that's the only way Rian Johnson can do Star Wars. Because that is, if you've seen any of his other work, you know how quirky of a filmmaker he is. I don't want to use that word quirky because that's kind of, he is a jack of all trades when it comes to storytelling and filmmaking.
Unique, deliberately unique.
Yeah, but one thing I do want out of this is I want him to write and direct every movie in the trilogy.
You want him to have the whole thing?
I just Peter Jackson it. Just Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings it. Because even if they just filmed it, you know, how they filmed Lord of the Rings, they just shot for 3 years straight and just got them all done in one go. Do that with this trilogy, because a lot of people's understandable critiques for the sequels is that there was no plan from the beginning, that they just kind of
went with it.
Here's this movie. What's the next one? That's the next one. Which is an understandable critique. When it's not one that I necessarily have a gripe with, but I think this will give Rian a chance to not have anything have to set him up beforehand, and him not have to set anything up, him just contained awesome Star Wars. I think that'll be great, and I want to see that.
Would you want / do you think he will leave it in a sense of he can let others kind of build off with it? Or do you think it will be literally like a 1, 2, 3, nothing else? There will be nothing else from this.
I don't know. I think it would be cool if like you said, if it is just the contained trilogy and that's it. That's the story. That's all we needed. And that's it. We put it on the shelf. We're done. But it also could be cool if you use that to build off of, for like, maybe we get a couple spin-off books, maybe we get a comic series, maybe we get, a show based off of one of the characters that ends up being like a fan favorite. Like, there's so many opportunities if you go for something brand new. So I'm really excited for where we're going to go with this, because I just love Rian Johnson, and I don't think I've made that a mystery on this show. I really love Rian Johnson.
Well, cool. I think that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us on Instagram at Through Imperial Eyes Pod, on Twitter at Twitter at Imperial Eyes Pod, and at YouTube you can just look us up as Through Imperial Eyes. Braydon, where can they find you on socials?
You can find me on Twitter at Braydon and on Instagram at braydonleadbetter. And where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Quacks and Scalene. That's QUACKSON, and then and then Scalene like the triangle. And then on Instagram you can follow my photography Instagram, which is at Daleen_photography, and Daleen is spelled DALEN. Wow, I really jumbled those last little bits.
Yeah, you just spelling bee champion 2021.
I don't know, my words all caught up with me, and I just feel a lot stupider than I really am. That's all right.
That's okay. Well, guys, make sure that you're leaving us that review and that rating on Apple Podcasts. It really, really helps out the show. You have no idea. And go ahead and follow us on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. All those fun things that really help out our show. And then if you want, you can be included in these questions we have at the end of the show. We take questions every week. If you want to ask us a question, discuss something, we had a really great discussion tonight. So please, if you have anything you want us to talk about, just hit us up. We'll put it in the show next week. And we also have an option if you want to leave a voice message on Anchor. You can get your voice in the show. We haven't had any of those yet, but it'd be cool if we could actually talk to you guys. So before we go, Jackson, do you have anything else?
Do we want to talk about our new weekly thing that we're going to be doing? Our new thingy thing?
So I don't want to get too deep into it, just so you guys have a little bit of a sense of surprise. But we are going to have it's going to be released on Saturdays. We're going to have a weekly special episode where we are going to kind of, I don't want to give too much away. It's just going to be a new series, going to be weekly. It's going to be fun. Going to get in a lot of discussion. We're going to bring in some guests. It'll be really fun to discuss Star Wars with guests.
You get two
so
stuff
that's
from
about
us
all I want
now.
to say. Yeah, you get two stuff every week.
More of our voices. Yeah, it's going to be great.
But that'll be a lot of fun. We'll bring in some guests. We'll have a lot of fun conversations about Star Wars, because that's what you're here for. But if you don't have anything else, Jackson, I think we'll be back next week with more Star Wars news. What do you think? You think we're going to start doing this, keep doing this podcast thing?
Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're doing good. Well, I'm at least having a good schedule in my life.
All right. Well, until next week, may the Force be with you.